Grand Rising Soul Tribe, Tracy here with Sweet Spot e-magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, shares, views, subscribes, comments, the generous donations. I appreciate it all. Let's ring this bell. Let's go ahead and clear out the energy this morning, and then we'll just see what the message that Spirit has for us. Hey, Hypsee. Everyone can see the fruits of someone else's labor, and they're being known by their fruits now. They're being judged by their fruits, just like you were judged. But see, people were judging you based on a lie. But now, as we are going and approaching a 1 year, 2026, people are starting to see who's receiving towers in their life. And it's not you. It's the one who talked about you. Bottom of the deck, step by step. People were judging you based on what someone else said about you. But you know what? As people start looking at the steps that you've been making and the steps that you've been taking, they're actually inspired by you. Because what you have, it's natural. This is your calling. You were following your bliss, what you felt was meant for you to do and go. Hey, lies never stuck. You knew within yourself that you were enough, which is why you went on this journey alone. You didn't want to be part of that crowd. And now everyone is looking at everything that you've done, the process that you went through, the ridicule, somebody talking about you behind your back, and they're curious. Now they're really looking at things really closely. It's almost like you saw your future self way back when nobody else could see you. They discounted you. And now people are looking at you and how whole you are. The wholeness of you. Mind, body, soul, spirit, even your finances, your happiness, everything about you is whole. Because you know what? You were able to put those inner demons, those childhood wounds to rest. And you still show gratitude today for being able to do that, to put those childhood wounds to rest. And now, what somebody thought that they was going to say about you is actually mirroring back on them. What's the message, Spirit? Hey, Malcolm. How are you this morning? What's the message, Spirit? You will be known by the fruits of your labor. This is what I was just hearing. And you know what? You were told to keep going. No matter how many times somebody put you down and what they said about you, Spirit told you to keep going. Hey, Wingseer, don't give up. Don't worry about what else someone is saying. You just worry about what you need to do to reach your highest self. And now everyone is seeing not only did you reach your highest self, it's almost like you're still growing. You're still going. And now people admire you because guess what? You are the light in the dark. You are what they are looking up to. Everyone sees now that that sacred space that you carved out for yourself, you knew what you were doing. You saw everything clearly. And now someone is in their emotions. They're crying because they made the wrong choice. They chose not to go step by step. They thought that they could just jump to the front of the line, but cutting you out. What's the message, Spirit? They didn't realize there's something called timing and there's something called divine timing. Hey, Sia, it's me. I'm glad that you did see everything clearly. What's the message, Spirit? Someone thought that they were wise, but now they realized that they were not wise at all. This is happening in the present. This is happening today. Now someone is looking at themselves and how many different faces they felt like they needed to put on just to impress someone else that really didn't matter. Someone that was on the outside of them, when all they really should have been impressed with was who they were. Try and impress self, not the world. Be the best person that you can be for you, not everyone else. Someone didn't realize that all the adornment that they were looking for, all the validation, it wasn't for someone else to validate you. It was for you to validate yourself. Like I said, someone is seeing now that somebody was pointing the finger at you when they were really pointing the finger at themselves. Hey, Lightworker William. And now that this change is happening, this is a major change, and everything is unfolding and coming out to the light, no longer being in the shadows, no longer being in the dark. Now someone is not knowing what else is going to happen. They're faced with the unknown. Hey, Diesel Gray. See, they talked about you while you were in your sacred space, and they had some really negative things to say about you. But you know what? This was okay. You didn't even care about that because you knew that it was going to be your integrity that told the tale. It was going to be your integrity that everyone remembered you by. And now somebody or people are open to how everything is happening. You know, you are reaching higher heights at the same time someone else is receiving a tower, and they know it's all connected. All because someone thought that they could be someone else and like they could jump ahead of the line and look like they took it step by step, but they didn't. They're being seen. They're even paranoid because they still care about what everybody else is talking about, as opposed to just worrying about getting themselves back on track or on track if they've never even been on track. They sure the hell refused wisdom. Whenever someone was giving them this pearl of wisdom, they rejected it. They rejected it. They acted like someone didn't know what the hell they were talking about, or like they couldn't see. Someone there told them, hey, you better slow down. Look both ways before you make the wrong decision. They're like, what? What? Stop talking to me. I know which way I'm going. But did they really? They knew which way they wanted to go. But what they didn't realize was the universe was the one who really knew which way they were going. They never thought this change was going to come. Sia, thank you so very much. I really do appreciate you so very much. See, they did not think that they were going to have to change. But now they see that change is the only thing, is the only option that they have. Hey, Angelique. I'm telling you, someone is in their emotions because they don't know what else is coming. They just know that a tower is coming. And they don't know how it's going to affect them, but they know it's connected to who they thought that they could be, who they thought that they could act like, who they thought they could steal someone else's destiny. Now, whenever they are asking for guidance, now when they're asking for wisdom, the advice that they're receiving is to remain strong and have courage, because they are going to have to go through whatever they put out there. Hey, J. Mike. Thank you, K. Hypsee. See, somebody created a whole story about you, a whole lie about you. And they never thought it was going to come back because they didn't think that you was going to be smart enough to know. They didn't think that your voice was going to speak, and even if it did speak, they didn't feel that you was going to your voice was going to even be able to hold any weight. And it wasn't even your voice that held weight; it was the fruits of your labor. It was what you produced. It was where your life is going, and it's the way that everything is looking up, 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 up for you. And see, it's hard for someone else to explain if you was this kind of horrible person, why are you being blessed and they're receiving a tower? It's hard for them to explain that shit. I just saw 1313 on the timer. It's hard for them to say, oh, well, it's only because of this or that it's because of that. You're not there anymore. You've closed that door. You've ended that chapter. You have left the building. Can't make this up. You walked the hell away. And you didn't walk away angrily. You just walked away with gratitude, thanking God for giving you the wisdom to let you know it's time for you to leave. And you went ahead and got on your journey. And when you got on your journey, that's whenever someone else got into their emotions. You had to put up boundaries with this person that you never thought that you was going to have to put up, because you felt like you used to feel like this person, was standing 10 toes down with you, only to find out that they were trying to put 10 swords in your back. Confirmation. But now it is a brand new day. And you know what they say about new days? Whenever you wake up, you're either going to be satisfied by what you've done, or you're going to hate yourself in the morning when you think about everything that you've done. Someone is thinking about everything that they've done. Not most of it, everything. It's replaying in their mind over and over and over and over again. Hey, Roni, bottom of the deck, Nine of Pentacles. Because see, you're standing by yourself. You're independent. You didn't need the validation of anyone else. You knew what you brought to the table, and you was not afraid to eat alone. Now somebody's thinking, not only are they in their emotions, but they thinking, trying to figure out how do they explain all of this. How do they explain that, you know what, they had this plan, they thought that they was going on the right way, they thought that they was going to be able to do this and nobody be able to find out nothing. They thought that they was going to have the victory, only to find out that no, they lost the battle. You're the one that's having the victory. They're the one that's being overstressed, depressed. They try and explain how it is that they ended up following the devil and make it make sense while they're explaining it. See, somebody's watching you and they're watching the wheel of fortune turn in your favor, and they know that they are on the downward spiral. Their life is zooming and slipping and sliding out of control because they had these lies and these secrets about this earth angel. Shit that wasn't even true. Did they not think that, God was going to get tired at one point and say, you know what, enough of this, let's stop the bullshit? See, somebody had some pie in the sky types of dreams that they was going to take what was yours, what was due to you. But they forget that what you give is also what you get. You worked on yourself. You worked on your own spirituality. You worked on your connection with God. You worked on developing your gifts. You worked. You took it step by step. You didn't skip any steps. And this other person, now they are feeling everything that they wanted you to feel. They're wondering, and they notice, like I said, every time something goes up for you, it goes down for them. And they can't explain that. Especially whenever you call judgment. And when you called judgment and you spoke your piece, people knew you were speaking the truth. You had nothing to hide. You had absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. See, you're receiving some positive news, some really good news about this gift, about this money, about this blessing, about something that's coming in, and it's making you happy. And now this other person can see how happy you are and how everything is out in the sun. Everything, nothing can be hidden. And they're trying to scratch their head, wondering why they even tried to lie on you, why they even tried to cut you out, why they did half of the shit that they even did to try and hurt and harm you. They thought that they had all the tricks in the world. They thought that they could pull the wool over your eyes. You would never know. They felt like they could send you some type of psychic attacks, financial attacks, emotional attacks. But what they didn't realize is when those attacks came back and you closed that cycle, they was going to be stuck right there. This person realized now they ended up attacking themselves, not you. You bobbed, you weaved, you did the matrix move. You did all of that, and all of that shit went straight past you. Now this person is thinking about this relationship that they used to have with you, how they used to feel secure, how they used to feel wanted and needed, how they used to feel valuable, how they used to feel like what they did and what they put in mattered. They're thinking about what they used to have. Like I said, somebody told them, they tried to give them some wisdom, but they didn't want to listen. They was like, they don't know what I'm doing. But now this person, they're hurt. And they realized somebody saw what they was doing the entire time and told them, you're sacrificing yourself. You're not hurting anyone else. Hey, Create, how are you, sweetie? They're hurt. But they did it to themselves. They have to look in the mirror to see who they should blame. And it's not you. They have their whole face in their hands. They're afraid to look at anyone in their eye because they feel like the entire world knows what they did to themselves trying to come after you. This love that you had for them was so strong, was so pure. They couldn't, like, why would you give that up? Why would you just discount that? But someone decided that they didn't need what you had anymore, or that they was going to see if they could test the limits. They found out that they failed that test. And they found out that those limits is not as long as they thought. See, Archangel Michael is here protecting your happiness. Archangel Michael is here sending someone else in where they failed. This person, they thought that they were going to follow the crowd, and the crowd was going to give them, all the glory, all the riches, that they was just going to have all this money. And now they're trying to figure out, where did the money go? Where did the crowd go? And why didn't they just stick with what they knew was going to be true? Now they understand what it means when they say one bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. You had something solid and you gambled it on something that is a maybe, a possibility, a could be. Now they want forgiveness. They want to be healed. Now they want to come to you. They want to ask for your forgiveness because you know what? This person is deep in their emotions. I'm talking deep in their emotions, and they have nobody to look at or nobody to blame but them. Hey, the soul archetype. Here you are. Abundance, blessings, miracle. And in the blink of an eye, it's like they just threw it all away. Hey, Shadia, how are you, sweetie? They threw it all away. for nothing. Now this person, it's like they want to come to you. They want you to pray for them. They want you to help them. They want you to use your gifts so that what's coming back for them doesn't strike them, because they know that they won't be able to make it. But remember, they thought it was going to be you. They didn't know that you was going to be able to protect yourself. Not just protect yourself, block any attacks that were sent your way. They didn't know that you had that power. They didn't know that you had those gifts. See, this person, they listened to somebody else and they jumped off the cliff. They listened to somebody else and they were so egotistical, thinking that they could get whatever they wanted from you, and you would never even know. But now they know that you know. You always knew. You was just giving this person an opportunity to get themselves right, but they didn't. So you had to walk away. Now they see that you were everything that they could have ever possibly wanted or needed. And this fool is sitting here thinking about who they chose to work with and what type of plan that they tried to come up with. And they thought that shit was going to work. It worked, but just not in their favor. They're receiving karma. They're finding out that all that shit that they invested in, all those lies that they said about you, all of those made up mystical bullshit that they said, oh no, this is what it is. It's not what it is, and everybody is starting to see. See, somebody was telling them, giving them bad advice, acting like they could create something out of nowhere, telling that person to hold off, to back up. You know, they was sitting there saying, calling you a gold digger, telling that person, no, don't give to that person. Don't do that. And so they didn't. But you kept going step by step. It took you a long time to get to where you're at now. It took you having faith, building yourself up, not looking to the left, not looking to the right, but just continuing to go step by step. And now this person is sitting here feeling stupid because they're feeling left out in the cold by everything that they said about you. Everything that they said about you. And like I said, everyone that was still at first looking at you like you was crazy, they're looking at that person like they is a fucking Judas. People want to fight this person. They want to fight this person because they went along with that shit, only to find out that they getting some too. What's the message, Spirit? What is the message? It's something whenever you find out that you was following somebody who was nothing but a bold-faced liar, and now this person's life is turning into a burning inferno, a tower, because somebody was trying to, take somebody else down. Some people are really pissed off that they didn't use their own intuition when it came time to trying to cause someone else some pain. And now they're the ones that are receiving the pain, and they have to try and heal themselves. They're upset that they didn't follow what they knew to be true. See, this judgment call has been made. Some of them, it's affected their finances. Others, it's affected their relationships. Others, it's affected, groups that they're involved in. But people are being affected. Careful what you put out. Careful about what you choose to believe about someone else. Because sometimes you have to look at what is in it for that person that's doing all the jaw jacking out the side of their neck, out the crack of their ass. What is it in that for that person? What's that person talking about you for? What do they keep bringing your name up for? It's not because you're doing anything, because everyone don't see you doing anything. People don't even see you at all. You at home. You doing you. You working on you. You are at home. You're working on getting your money together. And you are working on living in your own truth. So what is it with somebody else? See, people having to go within and look at themselves closely as to why they chose to believe the lie. Hey, Shaylin, how are you? Hey, Marcinda. Hi, Leo Knows. How are you, sweetie? Whenever you were confident and secure, you was doing you. You wasn't worried about what somebody else was doing. You wasn't worried about somebody else getting you off track because you knew they couldn't. You was too strong up here. You knew what was going on. Your heart was pure. You didn't wish anyone else any ill feelings. Nothing like that. Now someone that understands that they are being judged by their own character, by their own deeds. And they don't like that judgment call. But they should have thought about that when they was trying to take you through it, when they was trying to misjudge you, when they was trying to have people look down on you, when they chose to believe a fucking lie, when they chose to perpetuate a lie, when they chose to spread the lie, when they even just chose to fucking lie. People are looking at this person very closely. They want to see how this person acts and reacts now that the truth is out. Now that everyone can see that they having these tower moments in their life. And what they see is this person is like, they was trying to go at it hard. They was trying to take you down and not stop until you was just down. Now people are starting to wake up and say, oh, this motherfucker was lying. This motherfucker wanted to win at all costs. This motherfucker didn't listen, lied about everything. All that energy that they put out is being returned in kind, as it should. As it should. It's like, why would you go after somebody when they didn't send for you? If somebody didn't attack someone else, why would you sit there and go after somebody? It could have been something so simple as you rejected somebody. You said, you know what, you're just not for me. I'm good, good luck to you in life. And they're going to sit there and use all their breath, all their life, all these years to try and attack you, to try and get everybody to think a certain way about you. Well, guess the fuck what? Even if everybody that they knew thought the worst of you, that still didn't make that shit true. That still didn't make that shit true. Now everybody that they worked with, everybody they gathered around, everybody they collectively got together with are seeing that you know what? You still a star. They couldn't stop nothing. They couldn't hinder nothing. They couldn't bring you down. You still reached the top. And no matter what, you still got the motherfucker blocked. They feel like a fucking fool. And everyone's like, yeah, you are a fucking fool. Because you walked away, and immediately when you walked away, you found your own happiness. Like, who needs a motherfucking lie? And now this person that thought that they was going to be so happy, they are in regret. They're depressed. They don't like the life that they are getting because they thought this was supposed to have been your life. Now you look victorious because you went step by step. You didn't give up on yourself. You didn't care what no one else said about you. Now somebody is realizing what true power is. And it's not trying to overtake somebody. It's not trying to gang up on anybody. It's not bullying anybody. It's staying in your own motherfucking lane, doing what the fuck you know you need to do for you, and stop worrying about what somebody else outside of you got to say about you, because they ain't you and they never gonna be you. And only God wants you to worry about you, because God got a special blessing for you, and you never gonna get it worrying about what some other motherfucker got to say. Hey, Miss Type Creations, how are you, sweetie? Worried about what some other motherfucker got to say, you never gonna get it. They thinking about all this bullshit that they did to you. And they know why you walked away. They know why you had said, you know what, I'm not down for this bullshit no motherfucking more. Bye, bitch. They thought they were so strong. They see that they wasn't strong at all. They don't have the courage that you have. They don't have half the strength that you have. And that's okay, because you don't have the ego or the pride that they had. So I guess it's a fair trade-off, huh? You stayed to yourself while somebody was trying to give you less than what you deserve. You worked and you got it all. You got more than what you deserve coming in. Now they sitting here thinking, damn, how did I miss this shit? I guess because you thought that you was doing something that you wasn't really doing. I guess you didn't really know about universal law. The universe is always going to balance itself out. Put as much negativity out there as you want. Do it, because you look cool doing it. But when it comes back on you, keep that cool looking stance. Now they feel like they can't handle it. Aw, what's wrong, Tink Tink? What is wrong? What? You did some shit against an earth angel and now the judgment call has been made against a motherfucking earth angel. Not even a regular schmegular. You went against one of God's best soldiers. You went against a spiritual gangster who's teaching other people how to be motherfucking spiritual gangsters, and you thought that you was going to come away with the prize? No, all you walked away with, excuse me, let me correct that. All you did was limp away with a foot up in your ass. That was it. That was it. And collective is still being blessed by the Most High. Hey, Touche, how are you, sweetie? Still being blessed by the Most High, whereas you stuck right here because you sacrificed yourself. Listen to a motherfucking devil. Now who's getting what? Who got played now? I can't hear. I can't hear it. Say it loud. Who got played now? Because everybody's sitting here watching somebody in the dealing with some shit that they did to themselves. That you was being blamed for doing some shit to them. But no, they like, no, because you the one with all the resources. You the one that's independent. You the one that was given freely to this motherfucker. And they thought that they was going to create something. They was going to put some little spark into your relationship. They was going to give you a challenge. Challenge. Well, how they like that challenge? How do they like that challenge? What's the message, Spirit? Careful of who you trying to challenge. If you ain't trying to challenge yourself to be a better person, then I suggest you leave all that shit alone. Don't even go there, because it's not going to work out the way you want. Just like somebody trying to seek revenge. You know, you somebody did something to you and you like, oh, I can't stand it. They did this to me. I'm going to get them back. If it's the last thing I motherfucking do, I'm going to get them back. And so they spend all this time, all these resources, all this fucking energy, all this brain power, all this setting this shit up, only for then they think that they got somebody right where they want them. And they like, okay, they dug this hole. They dug this motherfucker deep, deep, deep. And then they covered it up with the cloth and they put all these leaves and these sticks on it and everything else. And then they was like setting this shit up. And then they trying to lure this person to this big ass hole. And the person say, nah, I can't go in the woods. I got allergies. They did all that shit for nothing. And then they pissed off and they trying to get this person in the car. Okay, well, I got this. And you just take these allergy medication and they trying to get this person to stand over there. The person like, but I don't want to stand over there. I'm going over here. There's something over here I want to see. And they trying to really confirmation. They really trying to get somebody to do all this shit. And they running around and they getting frustrated. Next thing you know, they slip and trip and fall in their own hole that they dug. Thank you. And you sitting there like, well, damn. How'd that hole get there? Who had that type of time? Who had that type of time? So the get back ain't really getting back. You want to make somebody suffer? Be successful in yourself. Work on self. Be the best person that you can be. Confirmation. Do what's pleasing in God's eyes, not somebody else's eyes. Go on, girl. Go. I'm not letting you out. No. Nope. What's the message, Spirit? J. Mike said, just keep digging. Right. What's the message, Spirit? Yeah. And then to come with an apology afterwards, after you didn't try to unalive somebody, because you know they are being financially blessed or they receiving some more abundance after you just did some fuck shit. Where did they do that shit at? Where did they do that shit at? Put it in the comments. I want to read that. Where they put that shit? Where they do that shit at? What's the message, Spirit? Yeah. They didn't think that you knew how to protect yourself. Like you was going to sit there and play their game. First of all, ain't nobody no little child like that. Ain't nobody playing no games. Especially when it comes to our life. I know I ain't playing games when it comes to my life or my happiness. But somebody wanted to play some games with you because they never grew up. Not you, baby. You're growing up to be a big girl. Because they never grew the fuck up. So they felt like you shouldn't have to grow up or that you would never grow up either. Girl, if you don't stop, I'm not doing it. No. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message, Spirit? What you need, Sasha? I'm not doing it. No. Go. Go on. Go play. Go get you some more water or something. Go sit by the door. No, I'm not doing it. Quit hitting me with that little tail of yours. Yep, she sure is giving that side eye. Girl, if you don't stop. Let me put her out real quick. Go on. Go. Go on. Go. You be good while you're out here. You hear me? You better be good. You hear me? I mean it. You better be good. Come on in here. Come on in here. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm not the one. Nope. Go sit. I couldn't trust her out there. She liked to dig too many holes. And I'm tired of covering up them holes, especially whenever I paid for my backyard to be professionally landscaped. Nope. Lay down. Look if you want to, girl. I'm not going to do it. What's the message, Spirit? What is the message? Anything else in this deck? Yeah, somebody realizing they sacrificed themselves all for the sake of bullshit. Whenever all the little magic tricks, all of that shit that they did to you didn't work. You knew how to protect yourself. You knew what time it was. You knew what was going on. And now they upset because they sit here, oh my gosh, they did this to themselves. And everything is turning around for you. Every time something goes up for you, something else goes down for them. Every time. So, like they say, how you like me now? Like I said, it's something about divine timing. See, had this person just been patient and watched what you was doing, number one, they would have saw that you wasn't a person to mess around or spread negativity on somebody else's name. You're not the one that's going to sit there and gossip and be upset because somebody, got something that you got or you didn't get. You just was biding your time like, okay, well, it's not my time yet. But you had the patience to know when God was ready to work for you, God was going to move in ways that God was going to open doors that no man could ever close. You didn't have to sit there and resort to some underhanded bullshit. That's not you. That's never been you. And now they feel stupid, as they should. Because God said, just go on about your business. Don't even seek revenge. Just go on about your business. Somebody started trying you 3 to 5 years ago. And now they realizing that was just 3 to 5 years of wasted time. This was somebody that was into black magic, a kitchen witch or warlock, somebody that was trying to do some moon magic, some fake shit, weird shit, chaos, trying to bring chaos with their goofy asses and that negative energy. Whatever they tried, it backfired. It backfired on them. And you are seeing the truth. You're seeing the truth and everyone else is seeing the truth. And now they stuck in their mind thinking about you. How they can't even come back to you because you know the truth. You know how somebody tried to hurt you. That's the whole thing. Why would you sit here and try and hurt someone else? Don't you know that what you put out is what God is going to make sure that you feel? Especially when someone wasn't doing anything to you. Especially if someone was trying to help you. Especially if somebody was trying to make sure that you had. They didn't realize they was fucking around with an earth angel. The only thing that you stood under was under your own truth. And they are salty as fuck. And that's too damn bad. They should have put their steps in, just like you went step by step until you reached the top. That's exactly what they should have done. But they was too scared. But you know what? The only scary step is the first one. They sat there and sold their soul to the devil. And they thought they was going to get you to be able to sell your soul too. They was like they was going to go to the devil. See, I got 2 souls for the price of 1, not yours. Shit, maybe one of their goony goo motherfucking friends, one of them flying monkeys, but it wasn't going to be yours. No, thank you. What's the message, Spirit? See, now they feel like they got to run and hide because the block is hot and everybody talking about them. Everybody's talking about them. And they're concerned due to a message that they got. It's nothing personal, at least not to you, because the way that they was like treating you like you was nothing personal. Hey, this is all business. Ain't nothing personal. Well, that comeback, that karma, those towers is hitting, that 2026 that everybody gonna see what they invested in. Hey, it's nothing personal, boo. Nothing personal over here. They thought that you was gonna stay where they put you. And coming back. Who moved my toy? Well, you was not one to be played with. That was their number one mistake. And now they acting like they super triggered. When we acting like we don't give a fuck. They sat there and they followed the devil like the devil was a Pied Piper. Okay. We'll play that too. And they see that whatever they tried to do, you cannot be stopped. You can't be stopped. And they was trying to trick you and trying to track you, trying to figure out what you was doing. You released these karmic partners a long time ago. Because you even told somebody was warned that they was dealing with a scammer, but they didn't want to see that. They was warned they was dealing with somebody who was a copycat. They didn't want to see it. They didn't want to believe it. What you looking at, baby? What's the message, Spirit? Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute, little girl. Staring me down is not going to do it. See, they was coached and they fell for it. Girl, if you don't stop. I'm telling you, they are receiving this karma. Little girl. What? What is it? What is it? Just a minute. Give me 1 minute. Go sit by the door. Yes. They created the perfect storm for themselves. The perfect storm. Okay. This is their confirmation. All right, y'all. Let me let y'all go. Somebody is not going to leave me alone. Okay, just a minute. She want what she want when she want it. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. I will see y'all this evening. Thank you, J Mike. Thank you, everyone. I will see y'all this evening. Let me let her OUT before she have a conniption fit. Okay. I love y'all. Let's go, little girl. Let's go.